Okay, welcome back. So this will be the first lecture that we're going to get started how to install all the software tools that we're going to use throughout the semester. And for some of you have taken my class before, spatial data management, you might already have some of those, but it's an opportunity for you to recap what we're going to use. And if you're new, if you have not installed any of this before, you can follow me. We can slow down and make sure you have all the software set up ready to go. And in the future, you can also bring your computer. So I think the majority of you are using your laptop. That's fine. And the lab computer also already have those software installed. So for today, I want to cover three software packages. Visual Studio Code, Git, and Conda, Miniconda. So basically, three software that you're going to use pretty much all the time. If you want to do coding and do software development. So if you go to the course website and then under resources, software, I think I've listed some of the links in here, some of those that we might be using for this course. So today we're just going to show you how to install it. This will be pretty simple and easy. Nowadays, you most likely just download the software from the internet and then just install it. So it depends on the operating system you're using. How many of you are using Windows? How many Macs? Just one? Okay. Are you using Windows or Mac?
Windows.
Windows, okay. So probably you need to find another company so that if you run into issues, you can ask for help. Again, ChatGPT, Google, and then me. And but most of the things we're gonna cover this course doesn't matter on what operating system. It's pretty much the same interface, although the installation might be different. But after that, it will be just the terminal. So it should be pretty much the same. And also just for you for the information, I'm using Linux. So I'm not using Windows or Mac for my work. But when I'm teaching, I'm using Windows. So because the interface will be similar to what you guys are using. But I'm actually haven't used it heavily, so sometimes I don't know what to do on Windows. So you guys can help me when I'm in need help. And so today we're going to install those three packages that I'm going to use. So the first one is again go to our website resources software, and the second one here Google Drive for desktop. This is up to you. You can install it, then you can get access to the Google Drive that I show you in the previous lecture, but it's not a requirement. But the next three are required. The first one is called Visual Studio Code. Okay, how many of you have used it before? Just one. Okay, great. So then this might be some good code editor that you can utilize. So this is not just for doing coding. Pretty much anything. It's as a text editor, so you can write Python, write JavaScript. You can write all kind of languages. So this one right now is the most popular coding editor, basically called IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So it's developed by Microsoft, and if you use other languages, you might heard about like Visual, what's it called? Visual Studio. Like this another software. Visual Studio Code is different. It's more like generic, and it's also very small. And this is the one that I use for the majority of my day. Like open it, do coding, push to GitHub, and then just do iteration. So again, it's very simple. Just open the link, then go to the website. So download the latest version. And depending on what operating system you are using, it should be automatic. So for me, I'm using Windows. Just double click, just click the link, and then ask you to save this one to your computer. Just save it. That's it. Hopefully, if you're on campus, the internet speed should be pretty good. So after a couple seconds, you should have the software. Download it. Then just double click and then next. All the default settings, you should be fine. I will show you shortly. So I used to already have those installed, but today I uninstall everything so that I can show you from scratch. And sometimes things might not work as expected because I already have some of those in the system before. I don't know. So we're going to do everything live, and sometimes we're going to run into errors. So that's the That's life that we have to deal with every day. So if something goes wrong, we fix it. And if I cannot fix it in class, I will fix it after, and then I will let you know by email. Okay. So again, open it. Next. So you can just install to the default one. So you see here, install to my user and then app data. So there's kind of a hidden directory. It doesn't matter. So just click next and next. So in here, of course, you're welcome to check some of those options. It's not required. I usually recommend maybe check these two boxes. So in that way, it's easier when you go to the File Explorer. You can right click and then you can open using Visual Studio Code. But you can always, it's kind of like you install Microsoft Office, okay? And then you go to folder, right click, and then say new Microsoft Word document, something like that. This would be similar. So if you don't check this box, you will not see the option. So I would recommend just check these two boxes. If you already next, if you skip this one, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Okay. Then just next, install. Hopefully it should be pretty quick. And the installation file is only like 90 megabytes, so it's a very small one. And if you have installed it before, you can update it. I think it's automatic. So when you open the software, it will check the version and then will help you update it. So should be pretty quick. I would highly recommend. If you have ever used Notepad, have you? Notepad.
Yeah, the 365.
Yeah, whatever, like
or the text
editor. Yeah. This is much better. You can have all the syntax highlighting. You can do all kind of integration with Git and GitHub. Anyway, so after it's done, then just click finish, open, and launch it. And you should be see start from scratch, and the interface will look like this. Black color, you can change to other theme. You see, I have some files already open because I have some history, I think, on the computer. But anyway, let me close all of them. And so by default, you should see the interface. I would recommend, let me minimize this. And so recommend that you just put it in the taskbar, so it's easier to open. Okay, but ping to the taskbar, and then you'll be there forever unless I close it. Okay, so now you might have something different. I think when you saw it, might have something like Get Started or something else. But this is pretty much the new interface, and you can see in here. Let me quickly show you. If you go to the help, there's last one here. Check for update. This is a very active software under active development. Usually release, I think, every couple of weeks. So you can always get the latest version. Just check update, and then you automatically install it. You don't have to download again. So this is the one that we're going to use. It's pretty simple. So for example, you can open file. You can open a directory. You can create a new file. I will show you later. But for now, I want to show you the option that I talked about earlier. That right click. When you right click, it's going to open something. So let me go to the C drive and maybe for example, the downloads directory, right? Right now, I only have one file in here. So if I right click, I should expect to see, if you check the show more options, I hope it comes up. Do you see this one here? Open with code. Yeah, this is the option that if you don't see it, you probably can find other ways to edit but if this is easier, so that you can go to any directory and then just open, then you should be able to see these files are not supposed to come here. This was from last time I talked last semester. Okay, so right now you see here, right? By default, it's going to open the downloads directory, and there's some errors in here. Let me see if I can clear up. On the left side here, this is basically the File Explorer, where you can create files, you can delete files, you can manage. Kind of similar to what you are doing here. Similar, but this is more like for text file. So this is so-called Visual Studio Code. It's a text editor. It's for doing text. So this is not for reading Microsoft Word document, Excel, or others. You can use programming to read it, but it's not for that purpose. Mostly for writing Python, JavaScript, HTML, all the programming languages. So all we need is just to install some extensions. And in here, here it's going to ask Git. So next, we want to install the second one. Right now, let's keep it here. Finish the installation. That's done. We'll go back. We'll come back later. Okay. So this is the first software. Any questions so far? No? Okay, next one. Let's go down. So the next one is called Git. Okay, again, right click here. We'll talk about more later. So how many of you have used Git before? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so basically majority we haven't. So Git is, as it say on the screen, is a version control. So what does that mean for version control? Is control the version. And I'm sure in the past you have some experiences when you're working on a paper or on something. You have a Word document, you finish it, you send to somebody else, and do some changes, they send back to you, and then you change the file name, view version 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, version final, version final, final, version final, 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 final. You remember? Underscore, yeah. This is really final, something like that. It's not very efficient. Version control is that to help you do that, so you can actually take a snapshot of all the version and also keep all the history. So if something goes wrong, you can revert it back, and it can also help you collaborate with each other. So think about if you're working on software that has thousands of people working together. Imagine that you are using Microsoft Word document to collaborate with 1,000 people. How are you going to name the file? How you're going to make sure that everyone has the latest copy? And how to remove the conflict, right? I send the file simultaneously to just here, all the students in class. Make some changes and send it to me. It will be a disaster for me to like consolidate all the changes because there will be all kind of conflict. So Git is designed to basically facilitate the process of doing coding, merging, and then also collaborate, and then everyone also get the latest version. It's so powerful. So, but it's mostly for doing like text files, smaller files. It's not like for doing like movie or like those like binary files. It's not for that. So it will compress and then have the entire history. You can think about it kind of like Google Documents or Microsoft Office online. Now you can send the link, everyone work together, and you can see all the histories. Kind of a similar concept, but it's for doing coding. Okay, so that's about the Git, and there's also GitHub. We talk about that later. Okay, Git is a software, basically version control. GitHub is like utilizing the protocol and then make it easier for you to basically visualize all the stuff and then easier for you to host. So next, let's install this Git. Okay, we're gonna use that to pull stuff from the GitHub. Also, you want to push things to GitHub because later when you develop packages, you're gonna have some files, right? You're not going to like go to the website and then drag and drop, right? Because there's so many copies. So for your coding, you're going to have only one copy, and all the history you're going to synchronize to this one, okay, and to GitHub. So what we're going to do here is just to download this one, okay. Depends on operating system. So I'm going to nowadays just use 64, okay. Just download the standalone. If you're using Mac, I think Mac you can just like Blue Git or something. I forgot. Like just Google it. It's a way to find it.
Yeah, it has steps. It's like brew and
Yeah, Homebrew Git or something.
yeah.
Yeah, just find the instructions online. For Windows, let's try this one. Standalone installer. You just click, and similarly, just save it. This is not too big, so it's 58 megabyte. It's done. Then come here, double click. Don't use all the default settings here. That's one thing that I want you to make changes. One of the options. Okay, so when it opens up, are you ready? Next. Next. Oh, I already have a Git. Anyway. See anything here? Yeah, this can be just the default settings. There's an option for editor. It may not be. Okay. If not, that's fine. Next. Yeah. So this one here, choosing the default editor used by Git. So if you select the drop down list, there should be an option. Visual Studio Code is Git's default editor. So the third option, okay, Visual Studio Code is Git's default editor. This is the only one. So that's the reason why we install Visual Studio Code first and then use this. So Git is pretty much a command line. But if we use Visual Studio Code, you'll be integrated in the interface, so you never you have to use the command line again. Okay, so it's very useful. Okay, after that, just next, and other stuff can be just using the default settings. Next, and next. Yeah, just next all the way to the end. Enable, install. Wow, there's so many settings. Okay, just all the way to the end. For Mac, is it? Can you install it?
Yeah.
Yeah. For Mac, probably you don't have the interface, right? You just homebrew, and after that you can just open a terminal. And so the way you can test it is, let's wait for this one to finish, and then I'll show you whether it's successful or not. Yeah. So after today, you can claim that you now know how to use those software. You can have 3 checkboxes. Okay, so we have already finished 2: Visual Studio Code, Git, and then you'll be Conda. Okay, so those are the 3 key software that are used nowadays in doing all the data science, doing all the coding, and all the big tech. They are all using pretty much the same. Okay, you see, I have some errors. I have no idea. Hopefully, it will finish. Okay, never mind. And if you want, you can check this box. Launch Git Bash. See if I can open it. Okay. You see, it's a terminal. I have all kind of errors because I have some of the settings that I did before. But can you open this one? If not, let me show you the other way. I don't use this one. It's ugly. So let's try the terminal. Okay. So if I go to my Windows, if you're using Mac, just open your terminal. Okay, and then go to all apps, or you can just search here. Type terminal. Can you find it? Terminal, and then just open it. Again, you might see some errors on mine. Yeah, that one is fine too. Yeah, no worries. The same. So once it is open, you might have something like this. And if you want to test it, just type git, hit enter. If you see some prompts like this, then you are good to go. If you have any errors, then we need to fix it. Okay. Any problems? So this is pretty much the same across operating systems, Mac, Linux, Windows. You should be able to use the git command. And right now there's nothing in here. So this is the magic we're going to talk about later. All right. So this is the second software. And questions? If not, let's go to the next one. Okay. So the next one will be this one is called Miniconda. So have you heard about Anaconda? Anyone? So it's kind of a similar, but this is a compact version, so it's a smaller one. Anaconda is a larger one. Most of you actually don't use it very all the stuff. It's much heavier. So personally, I will just use the smaller one. So just come here, open the link to the Miniconda, and based on your operating system, so download the one for your operating system. So for me, I'm going to download Windows 64-bit, and it should be a pretty small one. How big it is? Yeah, 80 gigabyte. If for Anaconda, it's much bigger. Question? Yeah, you done. Then you can skip this.
Skip this.
Yeah. If you already have that installed,
Miniconda.
yeah, it's fine. It's the same. Yeah, it doesn't matter. That one is the larger one, so Miniconda is the smaller one. But once it's installed, all the command lines are the same. All right, so it's downloaded. Then double click, and I believe it's all the default settings. So you will see here, welcome to Miniconda Pi 3.11. So basically it's Python 3.11, okay? But the latest one is actually Python 3.12. In the future, it might change. But right now, to be safe, don't always use the latest version because some of the packages have not updated to support 3.12 yet. And it's to be safe, is you always use one version older than the latest version, okay? So 3.11, I think it's pretty safe. Most of the packages have support this. Okay, next, agree. You can just me or all users. I will just me, and then okay. This you can just use the default. Yeah, just use the default settings, and then you should be good. And so here, Miniconda, you can think about how to say that. So Conda is a package manager. So basically means help you how to manage all the packages. And the reason why we want to use this one is that Conda allows you to create virtual environment. So one scenario would be, let's say you are using ArcGIS, right? Can you install a multiple ArcGIS Pro version on your computer? How?
And then it has all the versions, and then they reference each other and everything.
Yeah. So that's the downside, right? You only have one version. But think about here. I'm trying to develop something on my operating system, and I want to make it work on Windows, on Mac, on Linux. Do I have to buy 3 computers to test on all my computers so that it works across platform? Or how do I make sure that, oh, someone is using Python 3.8, you're putting 3.10, 3.11, 3.12. How on earth did I make sure that my package works on all the Python versions? Do I have to like have all the computer with specific one? No, you're never going to do that. So this is where virtual environment comes in. They can help you. You can create as many virtual environments as you want. You can test it in the environment. Once you are done, you can just destroy it, and it's not going to take too much space. Imagine it would be like, okay, you are architect. You're trying to design your house. You're trying to have something inside the house, design the room, right? So I'm going to give you an empty house. And inside there, you can like, only this is the kitchen, this is the living room. You can do all kind of arrangement. But once you're done, you can say, okay, reset. Everything is gone. And then you revert back to the original house. So this is something like in here. You can create, okay, I want a new environment for this. I want another environment for this, for that. You can install Python 3.7, 3.8. You can do anything you want. And it's isolated. So those packages environment, they don't interfere with each other. Kind of like in here, right now we're having class in here, right? We don't interfere with other classes in other classroom. Each classroom has its unique purpose for teaching a specific class, and it's all isolated. So once we're done with this class, we clean it up, we disconnect it, and we're leaving. Next class, other classes coming as well. So it's very useful, and also it can make things more reproducible because you know exactly what's in there. You can reproduce the environment, and other people can. This is good for like troubleshooting as well. Anyway, we'll talk about more throughout the semester, but this is more like a high-level overview what its software is doing. Okay, Visual Studio Code is used for writing code. Gig is for doing version control, like version 1.0, 2.0, blah blah blah, and also connect to GitHub, so you can push changes to GitHub. On that environment, it basically help you create those virtual environment, and you can do testing. You can do development on different software environment, and then you can also install things. You can uninstall. More like you can think about like a computer operating system. Okay. All right. So next, and for this one, the uncheck, you don't need to see anything. Okay. So hopefully, this should help you all set up. So next, let's test it, see like how do we actually use Conda. And I would like to quickly show you where this one is located. Okay, so for this three software, these two you don't really need to pay attention. You don't need to care where they are installed. But this one does matter. Sometimes you need to figure out where it is because you're going to install things. Kind of like, okay, I'm going to get into the classroom. You need to find your for the building and then get into this classroom. So you do need to know where they are being hosted. So for Windows users, if you go to your home directory, okay, is it empty? Or is it still? It's still
It's like
no. I don't want this one. So just go to the C drive, users, and then your name. You should be able to find this one, Miniconda 3. If you used Anaconda before, it might be somewhere else. I'm not quite sure, but you should be able to find it. So if a new users, do you see this one under your home directory? For Mac users, it might be under your, I'm not quite sure. It might be under some directory, but Later on, it will create a directory under your home user directory. I will show you later. But for now, let's look at this one here. And Miniconda. And somewhere here, you will see EMVS. Right now, it's empty. It might come, what we're going to install, it seems might come here, or it might be somewhere else. We will see it later. I'm going to show you how to do that. So anyway, right now, there's nothing there. So let's open the terminal just to test things out. I'm going to show you. Again, just type terminal. Open it. Okay. And don't be scared, okay? Don't be scared by the command line. We're going to use it only a couple times. After that, you'll be just the IDE, okay? So you don't need to use this all the time. So this time when you open this terminal, do you notice something different from the last time when you open it? Do you see something here, parentheses, space? Yes or no? Yes? No?
Oh.
Yeah, we close it and then reopen. If you didn't reopen it, you can keep it so that you can see the differences. No base?
It's using the command.
Oh, not the PowerShell. So it should be the same, but we check that. So for me right now, just type Conda, CONDA, and then hit enter. If you see something that's no error message, then you're good. Can you see? No, it's error. So probably can you try open the PowerShell?
Yeah.
Let me see here. Open like I think it's not PowerShell, but over here. So if it is not PowerShell, you can come. I'm not sure if you have that one. Come here, and then you can go to settings. If you can see something, it works fine. You don't need to do anything. I'm just showing you the troubleshooting. So go to here, settings, and by default here you can switch which one you want to open by default. I think you're probably using the command prompt or something. So it's better to use the PowerShell. This one is more powerful. So more integrated with that one, Conda and others, Git and other stuff. Okay, so anyone else having issues? Yes. What do you see? Oh, that one is fine. You don't need to. If you want, you can click the link, copy the link like above, and then you can try to install. So the PowerShell, if you your operating system is old, you might ask you to install a new one, but it will not affect the uses of the things you want to use. Anything? Any problem? Can you get into Conda? See, let me see. Okay. Okay, yeah, just agree. Install it.
I already installed it.
Oh, you already installed, so just open the terminal.
Okay.
Open the terminal, type Conda.
Must be.
You just type in.
Open the terminal. So go search. Terminal. Oh, you only have the command prompt. So for those of you who don't have the terminal, I think it's you might need to install it. So come here, Microsoft Store. They're supposed to be by default. I forgot if you need to install it or not. So if you open the Microsoft Store and then search the terminal, and then you may be able to install it. So terminal. Yeah, mine is already installed. So just search the terminal, and then come here. It should if you have not have this one on computer, there should be like install options. Can you see it? Microsoft Store somewhere? No. Or just open the command prompt, see if it works. The second one, yeah. And then just type Conda, CONDA. If this is not, then I need to. Okay. Anyway, don't worry. So again, we'll not use this a whole lot. If it doesn't work, let me show you the other way. That will absolutely work. Okay. So if we go to here, start all apps, and there should be. It's not here, but it should be Miniconda. So if you install Miniconda, come here, scroll down to start with M here. Miniconda 3, 64-bit. Okay. So do you see these two here? Anaconda prompt. If you click just Anaconda prompt, and this one should work. Oh, what happened? Why mine is not opening? Can you open yours? Okay, it looks like it works. It might take some time to load up, but yes. So if you can see it, then it's fine.
So we've been
Uh
getting errors in the regular
huh.
PowerShell.
Not Miniconda 3. It's just
It's just
Conda.
Yeah, but even when I put Conda
Don't use the regular one because I think need to add to the initialize or something like that.
Okay.
So again, just come here. Right. Let me show one more time. All apps, and then Miniconda 3, Anaconda prompt. Oh, Anaconda prompt PowerShell. My Anaconda prompt is broken. Anyway.
Even though, but it is installed.
Yeah, so all apps, Miniconda 3, Anaconda PowerShell prompt, that one should work. That one is the one comes with Anaconda. So if you open it up, if you see like parentheses space, can you see that? Yes? Yes? Okay, then we're good to go. And then here you can just type Conda. No, it doesn't matter. As long as you type Conda and you enter, if you see this screen, you are good.
I see something very similar, but it's not the same.
It's fine. So the operating system different. Yeah. So the base environment is in here. Don't install anything to the base environment, okay? So the base environment is kind of like the foundation. But from there, you can create all kind of virtual environment. But if you mess up the base environment, if it is broken, you have to uninstall everything.
Oh.
So don't I already installed things today? No, yeah, okay.
Legacy.
Okay, so don't install things yet. Base environment, you need to protect it. Just don't do anything. Otherwise, you'll need to uninstall stuff. Okay. Anyway, so this is basically the PowerShell, and it's allow you to create Conda environment. I think they might. Let me see if I have the description here. So let me go to the website resources, and we click just the resources. There should be some command line. If you scroll down to the Conda section in here, go to the website, click resources, just the main menu, and then scroll down to the Conda section. So these are some of the Conda commands that you might be using. Don't be intimidated. You only need to remember a couple of those, and then other than that, you don't need to use it again. But it's helpful. So I summarize some of the common ones they're going to use. So here, Conda info, basically show the environment, or Conda environment list. And so the other two is how to create a Conda environment. So this is what we're going to use right now to show you how to create a virtual environment. So basically, I'm giving you an empty house. Right now, we're trying to create some living rooms, bedrooms, kitchen, whatever. But don't mess up the foundation, okay? Otherwise, your house will be falling down. And then you need to start from scratch. So here, in this one, again, so the first one you can try is Conda env list, okay? If you hit enter, right now it should be just one base, and then it has a star or something, and then the file path. So this is basically the base environment. The star means the one right now is being activated. So basically right now we are reading this base environment. Can you see it? Yes? And so what we want to do is to create a new one. So right now, basically, we are getting into this house. Now we're trying to create a room for us. And if you don't remember, you can always come back to here. But there's not much you can need to write. It will be Conda create, and then -n. Okay, don't be too fast, okay, for me. But otherwise, later you need to redo it. And then env name, so the all uppercase here. So this is the one you need to choose. Choose a name. It doesn't really matter, but you can something like simple. So let me follow me here. Unless you have already created an environment with the same name, then you choose other name. So for me, I would like Conda create, and then hyphen or dash whatever. N means the name. So it stands for name. So we're gonna give it a name. And so for this course, maybe we can just do Geo, okay? Just choose the name Geo or something like, but don't make it very long because you need to activate the environment later, like Conda activate. You don't want to write a lot, 10, 20 characters name. Just give it 2 to 3 characters, meaningful, okay? And then the next one will be, okay, we create a new environment. We are going to install Python into this environment. So the name and then environment. So here, by default, if you don't do anything else, it's going to install the latest version. So if you really want the latest one, you can do it here and then just hit enter. It should go online to basically grab all the stuff. And don't hit enter yet, okay? You hit enter, follow me, but don't hit the next enter. Otherwise, you'll be install the latest version. And so here, if you don't want the latest one, you can specify Python equal to 3.11, 3.12, or something like that. But this one here, again, don't hit enter yet. I'm just showing you what is it doing. So it's going to create a virtual environment and it's going to install Python here. If you see 3.12.1. And if you don't use Conda, people are going to go to here. I'm going to show you the traditional way. You're going to go to python.org, okay? And then you're going to go to downloads. And then somewhere here, for example, blah, blah, what version. You're going to use like download and then install. This is not a good way, okay? Because if you install something to your environment, then you can only have one. Although you can also use Python to create virtual environment, but it's not a good practice. So although you can do that, but here just showing you, right, by default, it's going to create an environment, install Python in there. And these are some of the additional Python packages. They are not so many. So it's basically just the bare environment of a couple packages, core packages in there. And whether you want to proceed or not, just press N if you don't want it. If you hit enter, it will install, okay? So just press N. That means we don't want it because we want to create an environment later. You want to do the testing. So it's safe to use 3.11, 3.10. Right now, the older version that you can use is 3.8, okay? 0.8, 9, 10, 11. 3.7 is reaching its end of life, so you don't want to use 3.7. If you are using 2 point something, you need to migrate, okay? No more 2 point something. So again, so also in here, in the terminal, once you are here, if you have the screen, if it's too crowded, you want to clear it, Control arrow, okay? Control arrow to clear the screen. You see that? I'm not sure, I forgot what like would make, might be the same. Control arrow, can you control arrow? Not clear out. Oh, why my Windows is control? Or maybe, I don't know, there I need me to figure out. Maybe Control Shift A or something like that. Not this one. It might be operating specific. I forgot, like maybe this, if there's a setting here, like the shortcut. Control C?
Yeah.
No, Control C is just to exit. It's not Control C.
Oh.
Or you can, I think you can type like clear. No, CLS. I forgot what it. CLS. Yeah, CLS or.
Yes. Yeah.
So for me, it's just Control L. I forgot how I did it, but you can Google it later. So right now, like earlier, we used the command line. So you can use your keyboard up arrow. If you use the up arrow, you see the command line that you created. So go back to the one that we specified earlier. Conda create. If you're really quick, you can just type, okay? I'm lazy, so I sometimes use this up arrow or down arrow to navigate the history. So here you'll be Python equal to 3.11, okay? Python equal to 3.11, then hit enter. Python equal to 3.11. You can equal 3.10, whatever. But if you're new, just follow me. You don't really need to worry too much of the Python environment. So here you will see Python 3.11.7 and very much similar. And it's going to install. So here you can just type, just hit enter, you will install it. So what we're doing here right now, we are building something on the foundation. So the base environment is already included when we install Miniconda. Right now we're building on top of those, and it's a virtual environment, so we can destroy it later. You can install a whole bunch of packages into there.
When we're doing coding projects, do we want to create like a new?
No, you can just use the same one. You can use the same one, but of course you if you're doing the testing, you want to keep a fresh one because you might have some dependencies. For example, you already install and then you're doing the importing. It's successful, but when you migrate the new computer, people say, "Oh, I don't have this one, I don't have that one." So sometimes you want to have start from scratch. We will show you how to actually to set up those environments that you can test on 3.7, 0.8, all to 0.12, and then on Windows and Mac, it's all automatic. So you don't need to buy the computer, you don't need to set up. But when you're doing the development, you just need one. Mostly just need one. Okay, so now it's done. You see here, at the end, it should show you the command line, how to activate the Conda environment. So you can just follow there, Conda activate. So depends on the name of your environment, just Conda activate. So for me, it's just called Geo, okay? After you type this command, you see on the next line, do you see the parentheses right now is different? Right now it says parentheses Geo, okay? What does this mean is now we are getting into this virtual environment. We are not in the base environment. So if you want to install packages, make sure you get into this virtual environment. Otherwise, once you messed up the base environment, your whole environment is messed up. And you can do this again, conda env list, okay? And this time you should see two lines, right? The base, there's no star anymore because we're not in the base environment, and the geo, and then the star, and this one, okay? And you should see the file path. So this one sometimes is useful because you want to see where the package is being installed. So this virtual environment is actually under Miniconda env geo. For Mac computers, you might be under like your home environment, your home directory, and then .conda, something like that. On Linux is on the hit is a hidden folder. Anyway, so this is where I want to show you here quickly, like where it is, right? So if I go to my C drive, users, and then go to my name, Miniconda, envs. You see this one now, right? So all the entire environment is in here. So later on, when we don't need it, you can just delete this folder. It won't affect the outside. But we can also use command line to delete the environment. And you see, all in here. And so all the packages will be installed actually under, I think, under lib. And then where is it? Side packages. So things will be installed here. If you remember earlier, when we create a new environment, it asks, no, you want to install blah, 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 some packages. It's actually being installed in here. So the next step quickly I'm going to show you is that, okay, now you can install packages. So because we're already in the virtual environment, you can mess things up. It doesn't matter. So you can install whatever things you want. And this is kind of like you're using an iPhone or Android. Now you want to install some apps, right? Because this is just the bare environment. There's not much going on in there. So where do you find the packages, right? So like I want to install something because when you're trying to build something, you always want to build on top of other people. You don't want to start from scratch. So there are two locations where Python packages are being hosted. The first one is called pypi.org. People call PyPy, PyPI, whatever you like to name it. So it's called Python Package Index, okay, pypi.org. And if you come to this website, it's pretty, it's not fancy, but you see here, 50,000 projects, 5 million releases, how many files, how many users. So after this semester, you will contribute to this, okay? So you have 1 or 2 projects contribute there. I probably contribute maybe 30, 40, something like that. But you will have something up there pretty soon in the next couple of weeks. And this is where you can source all kind of packages, okay? For example, any name you like. Maybe if you have no idea, like you're doing Geospatial, you can just type Geospatial, see what packages are related to Geospatial, okay? And there's a package called Geospatial. Looks nice, the name. And also segment Geospatial, Geospatial ML. I'm happy to see like the search result, the top 5. I have 3. So if you click Geospatial, This is the package that actually I created. And you can see that the description, there's not much going on, but it's a packages that can help you install all kind of packages, all kind of geospatial. So if you want, you can click the link, for example, go to the homepage. All right. And this is where GitHub are hosted under my account. And this is what you're going to create throughout the semester, is to have something like this, have functionality. You also have a website, documentation. You can have some notebook, you can have tutorial, you can have video, you can have text, you can have all kind of stuff. But everyone is going to be different. So right now, the homework this week, there's no real homework. The homework is for you to think about a name for your Python package. Think about the name you're going to give to your child. So this semester, basically you are raising your child from giving birth to a toddler. Right? To be an adult, you're going to spend a lot more time. But you need to give a name. So try to come up with a name that's relevant to something you want to use, either to your project, to your thesis, to your dissertation, and give a name that's something descriptive. But first, you need to come to this PyPI website to check the name first, okay? Because the name that you like most likely has been taken. I can guarantee you, if you're trying to search, for example, I type geospatial, I've taken that long time ago. You cannot use the same name. The name needs to be unique. Has not been taken. And there are a couple ways you can do that. So let me show you again here. You can have hyphen, you can have underscore, but usually it's using hyphen. So if the name is not available, so for example here I use segment geospatial, right? It's fine. But you cannot use the geospatial again because it has been taken. So try to search this one and then think about it. You don't have to decide right now, but you need to have the name ready in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Once you have the name, you're going to build on top of this one. And you'll be a little bit difficult to change later. Of course, you can create a new package. I'm going to show you how to do that like just within a couple minutes. But it's great to just settle on the name. And then you start building that, okay? But once you become very mature, you get married, you can change your last name if you want to. But you need to have a lot of functionality, like people recognize you. Otherwise, whatever name you choose is going to become available in here, okay? So that's the homework this week, and then next week we can start creating the packages. And so next I'm going to show you quickly, we only have 3 minutes. What I'm going to show you here is how do you install all the packages. And what I would recommend if you're doing geospatial is just to install this one. And this one includes pretty much all the geospatial packages, like a couple hundred. You can come here to see the list. All the popular Python packages for geospatial are already there. So it's more like one-stop shop of install everything, okay? And this is using the PyPI, but let me show you the command line. How do you install this one? We talk about more next time, but there are a couple steps you're going to do in here. So conda install, okay? Conda install -c, okay? -c, and then conda -force, and then mamba. I will copy the command to the website later, but this is a new way, okay? So we are going to install another package called mamba. So mamba is so much faster when you are dealing with large dependencies. So similar to conda, but it's so much faster. So just trust me, install this one. Conda install -c. -c means channel. So basically we're telling you, okay, to install from here. So conda force is another like repository hosting all the packages. And just hit enter. Hopefully it works. And then once we have mamba, then we can install any packages you like, and it's very, very fast. So this might take a minute or two. The first time you are doing that is you need to figure out. So think about you are having an environment. Whenever you install something new into that, you need to check the conflict, because some people might not like each other. You're going to fight. So you need to figure out a way that it's in harmony, like everyone can, all the packages for them don't have conflict. And we're kind of out of time, but hopefully this one finished, and then I'll show you the last one. And then once it's done with the installation, if you see something like that, you just hit enter. If you already see the result, sometimes my computer is a bit slow. Just hit enter and then let it install. And then I will show you the last command that you can install all the geospatial packages that you don't have to worry about installation in the future.
This is installing for the geo environment.
Yes, inside the geo environment.
So if we were to destroy that, we wouldn't have anything.
No, the base will not be affected. All the base is intact. So, but you can also install this one in the base. But I would not recommend. Sometimes this one may stop the base and then the base is broken. So the downside is that you have to install. Oops, why it's not? It should not take this long. You guys see the?
It took mine.
Of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we only have 1 minute. So let me quickly if I can show you the last command, and then you guys can go. Okay. Let me let it finish. I will show you the last command. Okay, conda activate geo. So if you have successfully installed this Mamba, please. Anyway, then just type Mamba, MAMBA install. So anywhere you use Conda, now you use Mamba, and it will be the same. -C Conda first Geospatial. Okay. So this is the last one is to install all the packages. Okay, it's almost done. Yeah, Mamba install -C Conda first Geospatial, and then hit enter. This one should install a couple hundred packages. It's going to take some time. You can do it later if you don't have time, but okay, you see it's done here. So let me quickly show you here. Oops, Mamba install -C Conda first Geospatial, and then you'll be what? Why is not working? It's not supposed. Do you see anything like it's working?
Yeah, mine's crunching.
Yeah, it's crunching, so it should be good. Let me reopen it. Something is wrong with my terminal. So anytime if you reopen it, you'll be like Conda activate. You're gonna do it over time. Conda activate geo, and then Mamba install. I think something is broken on my end. It doesn't work, but on your computer you should see it spinning, and it takes a while. And then after that, you should be able to see that hit enter and then just install. I will fix this after class. Again, like I said, I installed some of those stuff from the computer before. It might already messed up something. But I will fix it, and then we'll be continuing the lecture next Monday. Okay? If you have any issues, send to the email. I will help you out. And the lecture is recorded, so you can rewatch the video from here. If you miss anything, I will also put the command lines on the Google site. So the lectures will be here, all the videos. So right now it's only one, but will be come up in here. Okay, that's all for today. No assignment. Think about the name, and we'll see you next week. Okay.
Yeah.